everyone. This video is on solving one-step inequalities. So if you are solving an inequality that is addition or subtraction, you would just solve like you normally would with an equation, where you would do the opposite. The sign would stay the same. However, when you multiply or divide by a negative, what's going to happen is the sign is going to flip. So what I mean by that is that for this problem, for instance, negative 4m, the greater than or equal to negative 4, you are then dividing by a negative 4, and you are dividing by a negative 4. So when you do that, because you divided by a negative, the sign is going to flip. And then negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. The same thing would apply if you were multiplying by a negative. So if in some circumstance you were multiplying by a negative. So let's say that this was a over 6 and there was a negative sign, and then that was less than or equal to negative 13. So to get rid of the dividing by the negative 6, you would end up multiplying by negative 6 and then multiplying by negative 6. So then these negative 6's would cancel, you would get a, but because you multiplied by a negative number, this number here doesn't matter. It's the number you multiply by. The sign has to flip. So then a would be greater than negative 13 times negative 6, which is 78. So in this case, a would be greater than 78. And again, I changed the problem. So let's go to some of the Khan Academy problems then. So for the Khan Academy, 2x less than 15. All right, well, you just have to divide by 2, divide by 2. So that means that x, you divided by a positive, the sign stays the same, and then 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. For this one, we need to get this x by itself. So we need to get rid of that 44. So we subtract 44, subtract 44. So the 44's are going to cancel, and then we're going to have negative 12 plus negative 44, or minus 44. So we're going to have negative 56. And again, when you add and subtract, the sign stays the same. So that sign's going to stay the same, and then we put our x. Okay, for this one, here we go. So to get rid of the negative 14, we have to divide by negative 14 and divide by negative 14. So if you divide by a negative, that means the sign has to flip. Okay, and then a negative over a negative, those would just become positive signs. So that means that this is going to be x. We have to flip the sign, and then it's 3 divided by 14. All right, so again, the negative here does not matter because the number you're getting rid of is this positive 17. So you're dividing both sides by 17. These would cancel. You divide it by a positive 17, so the sign stays the same. So this is x greater than, and then negative 17 divided by 17 is negative 1. All right, addition and subtraction, the sign does not change. So to get rid of the minus 6, we add 6. Over here we add 6. These cancel. This is x. The sign stays the same. 3 plus 6 is 9. All right, to get rid of dividing by negative 9, that would mean we would have to multiply by negative 9 and multiply by negative 9. So again, since you multiplied by a negative number, that means this sign is going to have to flip. Okay, so that means these 9's would cancel, giving you x. The sign's going to flip, And then 3 times negative 9 is negative 27. All right, to get rid of dividing by 25, that would mean you would have to multiply by 25. Those would cancel, but then you multiply by 25. Since you multiplied by a positive number, the sign stays the same. So this is x greater than, and then 5 times 25 is 125. Hopefully that video helps you a little bit with one-step inequalities.